During the 1830s, Ross was one of the major coaching inn stops along the Heritage Highway. And during that time there were many inns in the main street of Ross to house the people that stayed overnight. Nowadays we have B&Bs to take their place. The bridge that you see behind us here was built in 1836 by convict labour. It actually took 5 years to build, which is a fascinating story because a lot of the stone that was designed to be used for the bridge building in those early days was actually being traded with the local people that were living in the village. They were trading things like food, clothing, tobacco, rum for the use of the stone in their own dwellings. And so today when you visit Ross, a lot of the buildings that you could see in the main street area of our town are actually parts of the bridge. Jorgen Jorgensen was a convict divisional constable that was sent here to Ross in 1833 to try and investigate where this stone was disappearing to. He didn't reckon on the fact that the magistrates down to the lowly settlers in the village were all on the take. The 186 carvings that you see featured on the Ross Bridge are the work of Daniel Herbert. He was a convict stonemason that was sent here to complete the working of the bridge in 1835. He was joined by James Colbeck, who was a very respected stonemason, and between the two of them the bridge was built within 18 months. One of the most interesting features are the Celtic symbols that you see on the bridge, but intertwined with those are pictures of faces of people who were actually here in those days. The one behind me here is actually Daniel Herbert that you can see. There's also faces of Jorgen Jorgensen and also Lieutenant Governor Arthur, who was responsible for the colony in those days. The carving of Lieutenant Governor Arthur is a really interesting one because he's depicted on the bridge wearing a Puritan-style collar and quite a tall hat. He was a very religious man apparently, and beneath his face there's Celtic symbolism which depicts him as an evil Celtic god. Now little did he know about this because when he signed the conditional pardons for both Herbert and Colbeck when they completed the bridge, they really had the last laugh by taking the mickey out of him.